Dom's comment, about the players and having balance and perspective. As we all know, it's arguably even tougher for coaches to maintain some balance. We don't get to go out on the ice and perform. We get to spend 24 hours, seven days a week, thinking we have to unturn every stone to make some kind of little difference in the way our team's been performing or some players have been performing. So it's even more difficult in lots of ways for coaches to maintain balance and perspective. And the Cody Royle, the author of that Tough Stuff book, he speaks about that a lot, and I think we're all familiar with that. But really, one of the toughest things to learn as a young coach is, for you to have a free mind and get some exercise and have some balance in your life. It's going to make you a more livable person. It's going to directly translate to your players. If you're enjoying yourself and you're balanced, nothing worse than a coach that you can see is frazzled and overwrought and stressed out. That directly translates to your team as well. So lots of ways even tougher for coaches, I think, than players.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I agree with 100% with you, Tim, and I saw it firsthand. Again, just kind of echoing your point. Families were away from guys, and guys were literally at the rink. Coaches were literally at the rink from coming at workout at 5:30, and then they were there because the big team was playing. They would be there till the game was over at 11 o'clock at night, and then back again. And we literally had a meeting as a staff, and just said, hey, listen, like, we need to get away from the rink. We need to get outside. We need to, and it was, I chuckled a little bit. One of the junior coaches that we were taking their office over for during the time, he had a light spectrum, like for vitamin D, one of these light spectrum. He's like, you're going to need this. And so, nice. The thing is, in Calgary, the one thing that, Calgary is the most sunshine for, 300 and, somebody gave me the stat, 350 days out of the year is blue skies and whatever else have you. And the fact that you needed this blue spectrum light or whatever the spectrum light to me, I was like, holy smokes, fellas, take 20 minutes, take your lunch, go outside and walk around for a little bit. Like, really? You can't spare 20 minutes? But it's not just that staff in particular, but it's just the culture of what it is. And I think a little bit is an NFL culture, is that, the Bill Belichick's, like, he's there from 6 a.m. till 6 at night, and they're grinding through video and looking through it and everything on that side of things. And at the end of the day, you're dealing with people, right? And my experience from the beginning of my coaching career, just finished from playing, I was at my desk and never was face to face with anybody. And then I would try to I ran the power play, and I would try to give some direction on the bench. And I'd look at the players. I'm like, I am just like, I have no idea what this player's thinking, because I have no idea what this player is, what they're about, right? And so it changed over the 6 years that I've coached, to the point where I make sure, like, yes, sure, there's things that need to be done after a game in regards to watching it potentially, like for me, it's the power play, watching it a second time. But for the most part, and again, to me, is getting to know my players. So during the game, they know where I'm coming from, and that I'm coming from a place where I want to help. And now there's interaction, and now there's that ability. So I see that guys that are stuck behind their computers and just, trying to show, so they can show a couple clips, and from our side of it, the players watched it already. To me, it's more about, okay, you watched your shifts, but let's talk about it. And then now you need to have the relationship there. And again, sorry for kind of diverting a little bit, but I agree, Tim. It's it's you know, it's a fine line, because you do need to do, you know, the video side of it for sure. But to me, the most important piece is the individual connection, and that's at times lost.
I mean, is this something that has changed over the decades? Was it always like? I mean, okay, we didn't have all the technology, of course,